that his chief of staff, John Kelly, will leave the White House by the end of the year. They got to get through the holidays. Legal analyst Wendy Patrick now joining us with more on the shakeups from Washington. We say more on the shakeups. The shakeups, Wendy, within this White House seem to have started, well, with Michael Flynn about 2 weeks in. Right? Then he was out.
That's
and
right.
then we've just had shakeup after shakeup after shakeup.
That's right. The help wanted sign is officially out again at the White House. But you know, Chris, is it that unusual for shakeups to continually occur during an administration? The answer to that is no. The reason we're paying so much attention over the course of the almost past 2 years is it's Donald Trump's White House, and there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of news coverage, but it's not unusual for a chief of staff to be replaced. It's not unusual for other positions to be replaced. What this president wants to do is surround himself with people that are not only qualified, and I know that that's up for argument, looking at some of the people that have been nominated, but also that are very loyal to him. Those are two things that he's really emphasized are important to his administration.
He seems to run this in a different way than we've ever seen before.
Absolutely.
It's all about personal loyalty, about history. He tried to put family members there. Of course, Jared Kushner most notably comes to mind. So with Kelly out, and he was brought in, by the way, to kind of restore order. He was the adult in the room, is what we had heard from everyone who knew the inner workings. Who now is fit to replace him?
Here's why that question is so interesting, Chris, is Kelly was not somebody that the president brought in because they had a bonding experience or they had great rapport together. They didn't.
They seem like opposites.
Absolutely. So the interesting thing about Kelly is he was brought in, as you say, to be the adult in the room, to see if maybe they don't get along so well, but that's the kind of personality that's needed in the White House. The president may have tired of that dynamic, or shall I say lack of chemistry that the two men shared.
Well, he probably doesn't like anyone standing up to him, right?
Well, maybe not, but he really seemed to work with Kelly because he thought it was in the best interest of his administration. So the question now, is he going to replace Kelly with somebody that maybe he has chemistry with, but isn't as good for the dynamic of the administration, who won't stand up politically? But ironically, it also was Kelly's lack of political savvy that the president didn't like. He wants somebody in there, especially going into 2019, with some of the challenges he's going to face, the least of which are going to be the results of the Mueller investigation. He wants somebody with a little more political savvy that knows enough that's going to really stand up for him. So that's why it's a very important choice he's going to have to make.
All right, you and Nikki Haley stepping down, of course, and you have Heather Nauert, who's been named to replace her. Your thoughts on Heather Nauert? The knock on her is that she doesn't have a lot of experience in this realm. She was a Fox News anchor for a while. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I got to tell you, that's going to obviously come up at the confirmation hearing, but there's been a succession of TV personalities that have gone into politics, and that, I mean, think about it, Chris. I mean, look at your job. You have to know what's going on. You have to really get down and know a lot about a lot of different topics. Mm-hmm. Who's to say that she can't learn what's necessary for the job? That's going to be what's presented at her confirmation hearing. So too with anybody else. You know, the fact that you need Senate confirmation means that there's no rubber stamp for these positions that are being nominated. So I would expect, you know, she's spent since, you know, what, it's been over a year with the State Department. I would expect she's learned a lot. Let's see how well she does.
A friend of mine knows her very well. Used to work with her at Fox News. Said she's very capable, very smart lady,
that's
for sure.
What the president says.
Another smart guy, William Barr. This goes back to the late 41.
That's right.
President Bush, just passing away last week. William Barr is now evidently going to be his attorney general pick. Sounds like Trump wanted Barr for a long time.
He wanted Barr from the beginning, according to Trump. And why wouldn't he? Barr has actually had this post before. He is well respected. He's well liked. He's confirmable. And he wants somebody confirmed in this position sooner rather than later. So Barr seems like a natural pick. And the president's been very outspoken about that's who he wanted from day one. I think he's going to get him.
Wendy Patrick, as always, thanks for raising the bar here at Fox 5.
Oh, thank you. Very butt on ball. Very good. Thank you.
Hey, how about American Airlines launching their new facial recognition system?